The sky above Earth was unusually quiet that evening. Cities hummed with their normal rhythm. Traffic lights blinked, factories worked steadily, and millions of people carried on with their daily lives, unaware that everything they knew was about to change. Far above the atmosphere, in the cold emptiness of space, a fleet of alien ships emerged from a distant star system. They moved with perfect coordination, like an endless silver river, their shapes unlike anything humans had imagined. Inside the largest command ship, the alien leaders watched the blue planet with smug confidence. They had studied humanity for decades, analyzing its technology, its conflicts, its defenses, or so they believed. In their calculations, Earth was insignificant, primitive, easily conquered. They had no idea that humans were about to shatter every expectation. The aliens' communication systems broadcast a single, loud message across all frequencies. It was clear, unambiguous, and designed to terrify. People of Earth, surrender immediately. Resistance is meaningless. Your world will belong to us. In offices and homes across the globe, screens flickered with the alien declaration. Panic rippled through governments. Soldiers, scientists, and politicians scrambled to assess the situation. Air raid alerts sounded in some regions, while emergency meetings were convened behind closed doors in capitals from Washington to Beijing. For most of humanity, the news was almost unbelievable. Giant spacecraft hovering over cities millions of kilometers away demanding submission, it sounded like science fiction. But the images were real. Satellite feeds, once thought untouchable, showed the unmistakable presence of alien war machines in orbit. Despite the chaos above, not everyone was caught off guard. Deep underground, in a hidden facility known only to a handful of people, a small group of humans watched calmly. Scientists and military officers had been preparing for years. They had known that one day humanity might face an enemy far stronger than itself. Their secret project, codenamed Project Aegis, was about to prove its worth. Colonel Sarah Mitchell, the director of Project Aegis, moved quickly through the dimly lit corridors of the underground base. Her team followed without hesitation. Years of drills, simulations, and careful planning had prepared them for this moment. She reached the main control room, where banks of monitors displayed the alien fleet's movements in real time. Dr. Ravi Kapoor, the chief scientist, was already at his station. "They're bigger than we expected," he said, adjusting the holographic projection of the alien vessels. "And more coordinated. But we have the advantage. They think they understand Earth. They don't." Colonel Mitchell nodded. "Initiate the first phase. Let's show them that Earth is not defenseless." The team activated a series of hidden defense systems. Far above, in orbit and beyond, satellites and drones that had been cloaked for years silently powered up. Below, deep within oceans and mountains, secret weapon platforms hummed to life. Energy shields flickered around critical locations, invisible to the naked eye. Humanity's secret arsenal was ready, and the aliens had no idea it even existed. Meanwhile, aboard the alien command ship, Admiral Zalcor stared at the live data feeds. He saw strange energy fluctuations around Earth but dismissed them. "Minor anomalies," he said to his subordinates. "Nothing to worry about. This planet has no means to resist us. Prepare the first strike." At 18 Orion in UTC, the alien fleet fired its initial attack. Massive beams of energy tore across the sky, striking communication satellites and satellite arrays with terrifying precision. Cities experienced blackouts as satellites that controlled GPS, communications, and surveillance went offline. Panic increased on the surface. People fled streets trying to understand what was happening while the world's military struggled to respond. But then something unexpected happened. The alien energy beams suddenly faltered, splitting into strange, shimmering patterns before harmlessly dissipating. Confusion spread among the alien commanders. Their weapons, built to crush planets, were not performing as designed. In the underground control room, Dr. Kapoor's eyes widened as he analyzed the data. "It's working," he whispered. "The shields. They're active." Colonel Mitchell allowed herself a small smile. They won't believe it until they see it themselves. As Earth's secret defenses silently engaged, the first signs of a counterattack began. Cloaked drones moved into strategic positions in orbit, unseen by alien sensors. Kinetic platforms designed to strike with precision at massive distances aligned their trajectories. Hidden railguns buried deep underground charged their energy cores. Humanity's plan was simple: strike decisively, strike smartly, and strike where the enemy was weakest. The alien fleet, still confident, began to underestimate Earth even further. Zalcor issued orders for a full demonstration strike, intending to destroy the planet's major cities within minutes. But even as the alien warships unleashed their firepower, the world's secret guardians responded. In the blink of an eye, the first human counterstrike hit. High above the Pacific Ocean, a massive alien cruiser was struck by a sudden, invisible force. The ship shuddered, then cracked along its hull. Alarms blared inside the vessel as panic spread among the alien crew. "What is happening?" Zalcor shouted, his voice tinged with disbelief. "Impossible," another officer muttered. "This planet, it is fighting back." Back on Earth, the Project Aegis team watched calmly. The initial strike was only the beginning. This was not about brute force. It was about strategy, patience, and understanding the enemy. Every platform, every drone, every weapon had been designed to exploit the aliens' arrogance. They believed Earth had no defenses. They believed it would be easy. And that belief was about to cost them dearly. Colonel Mitchell turned to her team. "Remember, they think this is a demonstration. Keep them underestimating us. The moment they realize we are ready, it will be too late for them." On the surface, civilians watched the sky in awe and fear. Strange flashes of light, unlike anything they had ever seen, streaked across the atmosphere. Some believed it was the end of the world. Few understood that what they were witnessing was humanity's hidden strength finally revealed. In orbit, alien commanders scrambled. Their sensors, which had detected nothing unusual moments ago, now showed anomalies they could not explain. Ships that had seemed invincible were suddenly vulnerable. Their calculations, their centuries of assumed superiority, were failing in real time. Dr. Kapoor adjusted the controls, his fingers moving quickly over the panels. "They still don't know we can target their core systems. Wait until they get a closer look. They will regret underestimating us." Colonel Mitchell nodded, her eyes focused on the holographic display of alien vessels. "Patience," she said quietly. "They came here thinking victory was certain. Soon they will learn that Earth fights back, and we do not fight the way they expect." For now, though, the aliens remained confident, dismissing the strange effects as minor glitches. They did not realize that every moment of their arrogance was being recorded, studied, and exploited by humanity's hidden guardians. By the time the truth hit, the aliens would have no chance to recover. As night fell over Earth, the planet continued its quiet rhythms. People slept, unaware that their world was on the brink of a battle unlike any other in history. Above them, the alien fleet loomed, proud and unchallenged in their assumptions. Below them, humanity's secret defenders prepared to change the course of history in ways the galaxy would never forget. The first wave of engagement had begun. Earth's defenses, invisible yet deadly, were finally awake, and the aliens, confident and arrogant, would soon discover that they had misjudged the one thing that could never be calculated: human ingenuity. By the end of this first hour, one thing was clear: Earth was not defenseless, and those who believed it was would soon pay a heavy price. The alien fleet hovered above Earth like an unstoppable storm. From the surface, they looked immense, a silver and black armada stretching across the horizon. People around the world had begun to understand the seriousness of the situation. Governments scrambled jets, ships, and missiles, but none of their conventional defenses could even reach the alien ships. Inside the command ship of the alien fleet, Admiral Zalcor studied the Earth's response, or lack of one, with growing arrogance. "Pathetic," he muttered. "They are doing nothing. This planet is as weak as our intelligence suggested." "Sir, some of our beams are failing to hit the targets," one officer reported nervously. Zalcor waved him off. "Minor interference. Continue the attack. They have nothing to protect them. None of their defenses can stop us." Far below, hidden deep inside the Earth, the team behind Project Aegis monitored every movement of the fleet. Colonel Sarah Mitchell's eyes never left the holographic display. She knew the aliens were confident, and she smiled slightly. Confidence was a dangerous enemy. Humans had one advantage that no alien calculations could account for: creativity. Dr. Ravi Kapoor pointed at the screen. "They are lining up for a coordinated strike on the Pacific. Their calculations assume we have nothing prepared. We can hit their command ship if we time this right." Mitchell nodded. "Then let's give them a surprise they won't forget." In an instant, orbital drones that had been cloaked for years activated. They moved silently, almost invisible to precise locations around the fleet. Their sensors tracked the alien ship's weak points, energy cores, engines, and shield nodes that even the aliens didn't realize were vulnerable. On Earth's surface, people saw flashes in the sky, bright streaks of light moving faster than any missile or rocket. Many thought they were witnessing a meteor shower or some strange atmospheric phenomenon. Only a few understood that these were humanity's secret countermeasures coming to life. In orbit, a massive alien cruiser was the first to be struck. A concentrated kinetic projectile, invisible until impact, tore through its hull. The ship shuddered violently. Inside, alarm screamed as crew members struggled to understand what had happened. "Commander, our shields are failing," an officer shouted. Zalkor's face twisted in disbelief. Impossible. They have no weapons capable of this damage. They must be hiding something, another officer suggested, but fear made his voice uncertain. Back in the control room of Project Aegis, Dr. Kapoor's fingers moved quickly over the controls. Phase 1 successful. Targeting next group. Keep them distracted. They cannot see all our systems at once. Colonel Mitchell stepped forward. Remember, precision is key. One strike at a time. We don't need to destroy everything. We only need to show them that Earth is alive and dangerous. The aliens, meanwhile, attempted to adapt. They launched a barrage of energy beams toward the projected locations of the counterattack, trying to neutralize what they assumed were isolated satellites. But the beams passed through empty space. Earth systems were invisible, cloaked by advanced technology and careful planning. The first human strike was just the beginning. Railguns buried beneath mountains fired enormous projectiles with pinpoint accuracy, striking alien ships in orbit. Pulse cannons hidden beneath oceans sent shockwaves that disrupted alien shields. Each attack was calculated, surgical, and devastating. On the surface, humans could not see most of the action. They only saw flashes of light in the sky, explosions on distant satellites, and occasional streaks of burning debris falling toward Earth's atmosphere. Panic still spread in cities, but a few noticed something remarkable. The aliens were not advancing as expected. Instead, some ships began to fall, their massive hulls breaking apart silently in space. Zalkor's frustration grew. "Report! Why are our ships being destroyed?" "Sir, our calculations show—" "No logical cause. Their defenses are too advanced to predict," an officer replied. "Impossible," Zalkor barked. "This planet is defenseless. They cannot have hidden weapons at this scale." But the truth was clear. Humans had spent decades preparing, building systems that were designed to exploit alien arrogance. Every beam, every projectile, every energy pulse was calculated to strike at a weakness the aliens had not considered. Their pride had made them blind. Colonel Mitchell watched as the alien fleet attempted to regroup. "They think they can adjust," she said quietly. "Let them. They will only walk into the next strike," Dr. Kapoor nodded. "Our orbital drones are now in position to intercept their reinforcements. Their confidence will be their undoing." As the minutes passed, more alien ships began to falter. Systems they assumed were indestructible failed under precise human engineering. One by one, massive vessels were disabled or destroyed. The alien commanders began to realize that Earth was far from helpless. On a distant continent, world leaders watched live feeds with growing awe. No one had expected such precision and effectiveness. The world had feared annihilation, yet now it saw a glimmer of hope. The humans behind Project Aegis were the invisible shield protecting every city, every person, and every nation. In space, the aliens panicked. "Prepare the secondary weapons," Zalkor ordered. "Do not underestimate this planet again. Destroy them completely." But humanity's response was already underway. Hidden drone swarms moved like shadows between the alien ships, targeting engines and weapon nodes. Energy pulses disrupted their shields. Kinetic strikes tore apart the strongest armor. Every action was calculated to minimize risk to Earth while maximizing the alien fleet's confusion. Colonel Mitchell's voice was calm, but firm. "We are not fighting with brute force. We are fighting smart. Each of their moves is expected. Every counter is ready." Dr. Kapoor smiled slightly. "They still think this is luck. They do not realize it is design." Back aboard the alien command ship, fear was spreading like wildfire. Crew members whispered, "How is this possible? This world is primitive. It should not have this technology." Zalkor slammed his clawed hand against the control panel. "I do not care how. find the source of these attacks and eliminate it. But the source was everywhere and nowhere at once. Humanity had designed its defense system to be untraceable, spread across orbit, mountains, oceans, and underground. It was a web of precision that could not be easily destroyed. The aliens could not target one system without leaving themselves vulnerable to another. As the first hour of engagement passed, it became clear that the tide had shifted. The aliens, who had expected a quick conquest, now faced a planet that could strike with deadly efficiency. They had underestimated Earth, and that mistake was proving catastrophic. On the surface, ordinary citizens began to sense something unusual. Strange lights danced across the sky. Satellites fell silently into the ocean. Reports of unexplained explosions in orbit reached news outlets. Many feared the end of the world, yet those few who understood the truth felt awe. Humanity was fighting back, and it was unlike anything anyone had ever imagined. Colonel Mitchell looked at the main screen. The alien fleet was in disarray. "This is only the beginning," she said. "They believe they can fight us. Soon they will learn that Earth does not fight like any other planet they have conquered." Dr. Kapoor adjusted the controls, initiating the next phase of the operation. Phase 2 is ready. Once it begins, they will realize that their arrogance has blinded them. Earth will no longer be underestimated. In orbit, alien ships continued to fire wildly, trying to hit invisible targets. Their confidence had turned into desperation. One by one, massive cruisers broke apart, their once proud fleets reduced to drifting wreckage. For the humans, the victory was measured not just in destroyed ships, but in the knowledge that the planet could survive. Every strike, every countermeasure, every carefully calculated attack proved that Earth was not defenseless. As night fell across the globe, the alien commanders realized a terrifying truth. They had misjudged humanity entirely. The planet they had expected to conquer in hours was striking back with precision, intelligence, and cunning. Their arrogance, their assumption that Earth could not fight, had become their greatest weakness. Colonel Mitchell turned to her team, her face calm and determined. "We've shown them our strength, but the real battle is just beginning. Keep the pressure. Keep them confused. Every moment they hesitate is a victory for Earth." Dr. Kapoor nodded. "They still believe they can adapt. They will soon learn that adapting is impossible when they cannot even see their opponent." And high above, in the cold vacuum of space, the alien fleet began to experience the first taste of fear. They had come to Earth expecting easy victory. They had found resistance, and they would soon discover that the humans they had mocked were capable of far more than anyone had dared to imagine. The first strike had ended, but the war for Earth had only just begun. The alien fleet drifted in orbit, battered and confused. Ships that had once been symbols of unstoppable power now floated as broken metal husks, drifting silently against the black backdrop of space. On the surface of Earth, civilians looked up at the sky, seeing strange lights and fiery streaks as the battle continued far above their heads. Inside the largest alien command ship, Admiral Zalkor's anger and disbelief simmered. "How is this possible?" he growled. "Their defenses. They should not exist at this scale. They are primitive. They cannot fight us like this." "Sir," a junior officer said nervously, "we are losing ships faster than expected. Our shields are failing, and their counterattacks are more precise than we can calculate." Zalkor slammed his clawed hand against the console. "Find the source of these attacks! I want Earth destroyed before it becomes a problem. Do not allow them to adapt." But adaptation was exactly what humanity had anticipated. Hidden deep underground and spread across oceans and mountains, Project Aegis was not just a collection of weapons. It was a system designed to think faster than any alien strategy, to predict attacks and counter them instantly. Humans were no longer reacting. They were controlling the battlefield. Colonel Sarah Mitchell watched the holographic displays in the underground control center. Each alien movement was tracked, each attack predicted. The AI guiding Project Aegis analyzed billions of calculations per second, sending instructions to orbital drones, hidden railguns, and pulse cannons. "They think a direct attack will work," Dr. Ravi Kapoor said, studying the projections. "They do not realize that every strike they attempt is being calculated before they even fire." Mitchell nodded. "They still have the advantage of size and firepower, but we have speed, precision, and the ability to strike where they are weakest. Let's use it." In orbit, Earth's cloaked drones moved like silent predators among the alien ships. They struck at engine cores, weapon nodes, and shield generators with exact precision. Kinetic projectiles tore through armor, while pulse cannons disrupted alien energy systems. Each attack was designed to disable, not just destroy, leaving the aliens in confusion and panic. For the first time, humanity fought as a single, united force. Nations had put aside their conflicts, and the underground AI coordinated defenses across continents. From Japan to the Americas, from Europe to Africa, energy pulses and weapon systems fired in perfect synchronization. Every move on Earth's surface and in orbit was part of a single plan: neutralize the alien threat before it could adapt. On the alien command ship, Zalkor's voice was sharp with frustration. Concentrate fire on the northern hemisphere. Target their main cities. They cannot possibly withstand this. But the AI guiding Earth's defenses had already anticipated this. Cities were protected by invisible shields and underground systems. Orbital drones intercepted incoming beams, redirecting energy harmlessly into space. Any physical strikes were countered with carefully timed pulses that neutralized their force. They do not understand what they are facing, Dr. Kapoor said quietly. This is not just a defense. This is a network designed to make them lose before they even know how to fight us. Colonel Mitchell watched as alien ships tried to maneuver, desperately seeking a weak point. But for every movement, there was a human countermeasure ready. Drones swarmed like shadows, railguns fired silently from hidden platforms, and underground pulse cannons disrupted alien energy systems. The aliens were beginning to understand a terrifying truth. Earth was not helpless. They had assumed superiority, counting on speed and size to overwhelm a primitive planet. Instead, they were being outsmarted at every turn. High above the Atlantic, a massive alien cruiser attempted to fire a supercharged energy beam. It aimed at what the aliens thought was the planet's command hub. Before the beam could strike, a hidden orbital drone intercepted it, sending a counterpulse that disrupted the energy. The beam exploded mid-air, fragmenting into harmless sparks. Inside the cruiser, the crew panicked. "Sir, the weapon—" "It failed! We cannot hit them!" Zalkor roared in frustration. "Impossible. Focus fire! They cannot survive our combined fleet." But Earth's system had anticipated combined attacks. Drones and automated platforms were arranged in overlapping defensive layers, ensuring no single strike could penetrate. Every alien tactic was met with a faster, smarter response. On the surface, humanity's secret defenders worked tirelessly. Engineers monitored underground railguns, technicians coordinated pulse cannons beneath the oceans, and AI systems controlled drones in orbit. Every system was connected, every action synchronized. Humans had not merely prepared weapons, they had prepared a battlefield. The aliens realized, too late, that brute force would not win this fight. Every strike they launched was being countered, and their ships were falling faster than they could repair them. Confidence turned to fear, and arrogance to desperation. Meanwhile, humanity was preparing for the next stage. "We need to strike their command ship directly," Colonel Mitchell said. "If we can disrupt their coordination, we can end this quickly." Dr. Kapoor nodded. "The AI has calculated the optimal approach. We can disable their core systems, but it will require precise timing. Every second counts." On the alien fleet, Zalkor issued new orders. "Launch fighters. Target every human asset. Show them our strength." But even their fighters were met with precise counterattacks. Cloaked drones intercepted squadrons before they could reach Earth. Railgun strikes destroyed carriers, and orbital pulse cannons created invisible walls that disrupted alien maneuvering. One by one, the aliens' attacks failed. As the battle raged on, a terrifying realization spread among the alien officers. Earth was not a world to conquer. It was a trap. Every weakness they believed existed was an illusion. Every assumption about human technology was wrong. The planet they had mocked was a fortress, invisible and deadly. On Earth, civilians continued their lives, largely unaware of the hidden war. Strange lights streaked across the sky. Satellites fell into oceans, and distant explosions echoed in orbit. Few could understand the scale of the battle, but hope began to replace fear. Humanity was alive, united and fighting back in ways the aliens could not imagine. Colonel Mitchell studied the holographic projection of the alien fleet. Ships were failing faster than expected. "They are panicking," she said. "We have to maintain the pressure. Let them think they have a chance and then strike decisively." Dr. Kapoor adjusted controls, initiating the next phase of the AI's calculations. The command ship is the key. Once we disrupt its core systems, the fleet will be paralyzed. It is their only coordination point. High above the Pacific, one of the largest alien cruisers began to falter. Hidden railgun strikes pierced its armor, and energy pulses disrupted its engines. Panic spread across the alien fleet. "Sir, the command ship is failing," one officer cried. Zalkor's face twisted with rage and disbelief. Impossible. They should not have the capability to damage it. But Earth's defenders had anticipated every move. The AI had studied alien formations, their firing patterns, and energy systems. Humans were not reacting. They were controlling the flow of battle, striking at the perfect time with perfect precision. For the first time, fear entered the hearts of the aliens. They had underestimated their opponent. They had assumed victory would be easy. And in doing so, they had walked into the teeth of humanity's hidden strength. Colonel Mitchell turned to her team. "We've proven we can control the battlefield. Next we finish this. The aliens still believe they can fight back. Soon they will realize they cannot survive our coordinated strikes." Dr. Kapoor smiled slightly. "They do not understand our system. They never will. That is why we win." And above Earth, the alien fleet began to fracture. Ships that had once been symbols of invincibility now drifted helplessly, broken and burning. Confidence turned to panic, arrogance to fear. The humans below, united and precise, had revealed a force that the aliens had never expected. The first wave of counterattacks had worked. The alien fleet had lost hundreds of ships. Its command structure was faltering. Its officers whispered in fear. Humanity was not just defending Earth, it was dominating the battle. The aliens had assumed Earth had no defenses. They had been wrong. And in the next stage of the conflict, humanity would prove that even a planet thought defenseless could strike with deadly, unstoppable power. For the first time, Admiral Zalkor understood the truth. He had underestimated a species that refused to surrender, a planet that refused to yield, and a people who fought with intelligence, courage, and unity. The counterattack had begun, and Earth would not stop until the aliens understood one unbreakable fact. Underestimating humanity was the gravest mistake in the galaxy. The alien fleet was in chaos. Ships that had once commanded the void now drifted helplessly, their engines sparking, their weapons offline. Confidence had been replaced by panic, arrogance by fear, and yet even in their desperation they were dangerous. Admiral Zalkor's eyes burned with fury. "We are not finished," he shouted, his voice echoing across the command bridge. "Activate the planet cracker weapon. Leave nothing alive. Destroy their world before it destroys ours." The planet cracker was unlike anything Earth had faced. A massive energy-based device capable of splitting a planet apart in minutes. The aliens had planned it for decades, expecting no resistance. Now, with their fleet faltering, they saw it as their final option. On Earth, Colonel Sarah Mitchell and her team monitored the alien movements. The AI's predictions had calculated this possibility. "They're preparing a superweapon," Dr. Ravi Kapoor said, eyes fixed on the holographic display. "If it fires, millions will die instantly." Mitchell's jaw tightened. "Then we do not have time to waste. Initiate Operation Spear. Every moment counts." Operation Spear had been prepared in secret for years. The moon, often seen as a barren satellite, held hidden human defense batteries capable of striking targets in orbit and beyond with unmatched precision. The plan was high risk. Strike the alien command ship and the superweapon simultaneously, exploiting the small window when their systems were vulnerable. "Everyone ready?" Mitchell asked. The team nodded. Dr. Kapoor adjusted the AI calculations one last time. 5-minute window. That is all we have. Any delay and the weapon will fire. High above the Earth, cloaked drones moved into position around the alien fleet. They were invisible, silent, deadly. Orbital railguns charged, pulse cannons aligned, and hidden energy projectors prepared for the moment of attack. Every system waited for the signal. The alien fleet, unaware of Earth's ultimate preparation, activated the planet cracker. Energy beams began to converge on its core. Satellites fell into position, firing massive pulses to calibrate the weapon's destructive power. The countdown had begun. Zalkor's confidence was tinged with unease. "Fire the secondary fleets. Destroy every human defense system we can find." But the AI guiding Project Aegis anticipated this. Countermeasures had been put in place long before the aliens thought to attack. Cloaked drones intercepted fighter squadrons. Hidden railguns struck at the energy nodes powering alien weapons. Pulse cannons disrupted their shields and communications. On the moon, the hidden defense batteries awaited the perfect moment. Human pilots, long trained for such an event, prepared to guide their strikes. The AI calculated trajectories down to the millisecond. One wrong move and the operation could fail. Colonel Mitchell's voice was calm but urgent. Now, initiate the strike. The moon's hidden weapons fired in perfect synchronization. Massive beams of energy streaked through space, converging on the alien command ship and the core of the planet cracker. Cloaked drones followed, striking at the engines and shield nodes with precision. The aliens reacted too late. Beams that had seemed unstoppable were intercepted, engines overloaded, shields failing. The planet cracker's energy began to destabilize, sparking and flickering dangerously. Panic swept through the alien ranks. "Sir, the weapon, it's failing." One officer shouted. Zalcor's face twisted in rage. "Impossible. This planet is primitive. How?" Before he could finish, a massive strike from the moon hit the weapon's core directly. Energy surged violently, exceeding the device's capacity. Alarms blared across the fleet as the planet cracker's systems began to overload. Simultaneously, human drones moved into the command ship, firing at critical systems. Energy conduits exploded, engines faltered, and shields collapsed. The fleet's coordination crumbled. Ships collided, drifted, or exploded silently into space. On Earth, the Project Aegis team watched in tense silence. Every strike had to land perfectly. One miscalculation could mean disaster. But the AI's precision was flawless. Every trajectory, every pulse, every shot had been calculated and executed exactly as planned. High above the Atlantic, one of the largest alien cruisers exploded in a flash of light. Pieces of it drifted toward the planet, harmless thanks to careful calculations and countermeasures. Across the globe, more ships fell, creating a spectacle of destruction in orbit. The aliens' desperation grew. Zalcor roared, issuing frantic commands. "Pull back, regroup, evacuate the fleet." But the AI had already anticipated every escape route. Cloaked drones cut off retreat paths. Railguns struck pursuing ships and pulse cannons disrupted engines. One by one, alien vessels fell, leaving only the command ship and a few stragglers struggling to survive. The planet cracker's core finally overloaded. A massive explosion erupted in space, visible even from Earth's surface. The device that had been intended to destroy the planet was destroyed itself, leaving the alien fleet in ruins. Inside the command ship, Zalcor realized the full extent of the disaster. "We have failed," he whispered, his voice trembling with disbelief. "This planet, it fights back, stronger than we imagined." Colonel Mitchell allowed herself a brief smile. "They underestimated us," she said softly. "And now they know they made a mistake they cannot recover from." Dr. Kapoor nodded. The counterattack worked perfectly. Every calculation was correct. They had no idea we could strike like this. The remaining alien ships attempted one last desperate maneuver to escape, but orbital drones intercepted them, striking at engines and navigation systems. Ships tumbled through space, disabled and helpless. The alien fleet, once so powerful, was reduced to wreckage. On Earth, civilians looked up at the sky in awe and fear. Some had witnessed streaks of light, explosions, and falling debris. Few understood the true scale of the battle. Most could only hope that humanity had survived. In the underground control center, Colonel Mitchell addressed her team. "We did it. They believed they could conquer us in hours, but they were wrong. Humanity has survived, and we have shown the galaxy that Earth is not defenseless." Dr. Kapoor adjusted the AI settings, ensuring that all defense systems remained online. They will not try again soon. But this battle has revealed one thing. Humans are capable of far more than any enemy expects. Above, drifting silently in space, the remnants of the alien fleet served as a warning. Ships that had once threatened annihilation now floated as lifeless monuments to their arrogance. Humanity had struck first with precision, and the galaxy would remember it. Colonel Mitchell turned to the holographic display showing Earth from space. "We've survived the first wave," she said. "But the galaxy is vast. There will be others. We must be ready. What they have seen today is only a glimpse of what humans are capable of." Dr. Kapoor smiled. "And they will think twice before ever underestimating us again." As night fell over Earth, the planet remained quiet, seemingly peaceful. Cities lit up with normal life, unaware of the war that had raged above. Yet every human who had fought every AI-driven system and every hidden weapon had proven one undeniable truth. Earth was alive. Earth was united, and Earth could fight back. For the first time, humanity had not only survived an alien onslaught, they had dominated it. And the story of that dominance would spread across the stars. In the coming days, humans would analyze the remnants of the alien fleet, study their technology, and prepare for the next challenge. But one truth would remain unshakable. Underestimating Earth was the gravest mistake in the galaxy, and those who did would pay dearly. The first superweapon had failed. The alien fleet was shattered. Humanity had executed the most daring and precise strike in history. And as Colonel Mitchell looked at the Earth below, she knew one thing with certainty. The galaxy would never forget this day. 5 minutes had changed everything. The wreckage of the alien fleet drifted silently in orbit. Ships that had once seemed invincible now floated like broken monuments, their hulls torn open, engines dead and weapons destroyed. The blackness of space was dotted with glimmers of fire and shattered metal, a grim reminder of the arrogance that had led the aliens to believe Earth was defenseless. On Earth, life returned slowly to its normal rhythm. Civilians stepped outside to gaze at the sky, unaware of the secret war that had raged above them. Few could comprehend the scale of the battle. Satellites that had fallen into oceans or burned in orbit, strange lights flashing across the atmosphere, and scattered debris were the only clues of humanity's incredible victory. In the underground control room of Project Aegis, Colonel Sarah Mitchell and her team monitored the aftermath. The AI confirmed that the alien fleet had been effectively neutralized. Every ship had been disabled, every threat accounted for. The planet cracker weapon, once a potential doom for Earth, had been destroyed, and the alien command ship was incapacitated. Dr. Ravi Kapoor exhaled, relief and pride in his voice. It's over. They thought victory would be easy. They were wrong. Humanity has won. Mitchell nodded, her expression calm but resolute. We won, but this is just the beginning. The galaxy is vast, and there are others who will learn from this failure. Earth must be ready. Above, the remaining alien ships began to retreat. Survivors fled into the void, broken and disoriented, sending fragmented signals across space. Their fleet, once a symbol of unstoppable conquest, had been shattered in minutes by humans who they had dismissed as primitive. The galaxy would soon hear the story. The world that seemed defenseless had struck with precision, intelligence, and unity. On Earth, military leaders and scientists gathered to assess the situation. The news was astonishing. Humanity had survived the most advanced alien assault ever faced, and they had done so without massive casualties. The AI had coordinated the defense flawlessly, turning the planet into a fortress invisible to the invaders. Everyone underestimated us, Mitchell said, addressing the gathered officials. They assumed Earth was weak, disorganized, and defenseless. We have proven that assumption wrong. We must carry this knowledge forward, prepare for the future, remain united, and continue to advance our defenses, Dr. Kapoor added. Project Aegis worked because it was built with one principle: predict the enemy, protect humanity, and strike decisively when the moment is right. Today, that principle saved the world. Meanwhile, scattered across the globe, ordinary humans began to realize that something extraordinary had occurred. Stories emerged of strange lights in the sky, sudden explosions in orbit, and satellites falling into the oceans. Rumors circulated of secret technologies and hidden weapons. While most people could not grasp the details, a single truth resonated. Earth had survived, and humanity was stronger than anyone had imagined. In orbit, some of the remaining alien ships sent last-minute distress calls to distant star systems. Messages of defeat spread, and with them fear. Word of Earth's hidden strength would ripple across the galaxy. Planets that had assumed dominance might think twice before underestimating humanity. The story of a single world striking down a conquering fleet in minutes would spread like wildfire. Back on Earth, Colonel Mitchell and her team continued to monitor the skies. The battle was over, but vigilance remained critical. The AI continued to scan for any remaining threats, adjusting Earth's defenses in real time. Every satellite, every hidden drone, every underground weapon remained active, ready to protect the planet if needed. Dr. Kapoor looked at the holographic display showing the alien retreat. They will tell others about this defeat. And when they do, Earth will no longer be underestimated. That is a powerful advantage, Mitchell nodded. It is, but it also brings responsibility. The galaxy is watching now. We must be ready for what comes next. Today we survived. Tomorrow we must ensure that survival becomes permanent. High above, drifting silently, the alien fleet was a haunting reminder of arrogance and miscalculation. The species that had believed Earth to be weak had been humbled. Their communications, now fragmented and full of fear, carried a warning to others. Do not underestimate this planet. They fight differently. They fight smartly, and they do not surrender. On Earth, humanity began to celebrate quietly, though the celebrations were tempered by the knowledge of what could have been. Families reunited, cities lit up, and relief washed over people. The victory was not just military, it was existential. Humanity had faced extinction and emerged victorious. In secret, Project Aegis continued its work. Systems were recalibrated, lessons learned from the battle were analyzed, and enhancements were prepared for the future. Humanity now had proof of its potential and of the importance of preparation, intelligence, and unity. Colonel Mitchell walked through the control room, her gaze steady. 5 minutes changed everything, she said softly. They believed we had no defenses. They believed victory was assured. But it was over before they realized it. Dr. Kapoor smiled. 5 minutes of preparation, strategy, and precise execution. That was enough to change the course of history. The story of Earth's defense would become legend, though much of it would remain hidden from the public. Few would know the full scale of Project Aegis or the intelligence and courage behind every strike. But those who had survived knew the truth. Humans had faced overwhelming odds and prevailed. Above, the stars were quiet once more. The shattered alien fleet drifted away, a warning etched across space. Other civilizations might hear the tale and rethink their assumptions. Earth, once dismissed as primitive and defenseless, had revealed its claws. In the days that followed, humanity began to look outward. The galaxy, once distant and mysterious, now seemed closer, filled with potential threats and opportunities. But Earth was united. Humans had learned that intelligence, creativity, and courage could triumph over brute force. That knowledge would guide them as they ventured further into the stars. Colonel Mitchell addressed her team one last time before leaving the control room.
We have won today.
But remember, this is only the beginning. The galaxy is vast, and there will be others who test us. We must remain vigilant, united, and ready. Humanity has proven its strength, but strength alone is never enough. We must always be clever, precise, and prepared. Dr. Kapoor nodded. And we will be. We have proven today that humans are not to be underestimated. That message will echo across the stars. In orbit, the last alien vessels disappeared into the darkness, leaving Earth intact. Humanity had survived an enemy far more powerful and far more advanced than anyone could have imagined. And in doing so, they had proven one undeniable truth. A planet that appears weak may hide untold strength, intelligence, and unity, and those who underestimate it do so at their own peril. On the surface, the world slowly returned to life. People continued their daily routines, unaware that their survival had been secured by a small group of dedicated humans and the advanced systems they had created. The sky remained quiet, but Earth had changed forever. Humanity had emerged victorious not through reckless force, but through careful planning, intelligence, and courage. And somewhere drifting in space, the surviving aliens carried a single unshakable fear. Never again would they underestimate the people of Earth. 5 minutes had decided the fate of the planet. 5 minutes had changed history, and as humans looked up at the stars, they knew one thing with certainty. Earth would never be conquered, and humanity would continue to fight, survive, and thrive. The galaxy had learned its first lesson about Earth, and that lesson would never be forgotten.